Tempo squats. We have a couple different variations that we're going to be doing here of a body weight squat. The things that we want to be aware of when we're doing a squat is we want to match the angles with our ankles, knees, and hips. So I'm going to show Chase with a good version, and then we'll talk about a bad one, and then we'll break down the movement. So go ahead, and you're going to be reaching back with your hips, sitting back into an invisible chair, bending your knees, bending your hips, keeping your shoulders pulled back, and you're going to stop right there. So at this particular moment, Chase is actually a little bit too low. He needs to bring his shoulders back up so that this hip angle is matching his knee and ankle angle. We want to keep everything symmetrical. Come on back up again. We're going to over-exaggerate a bad motion. So on this one, Chase is going to hinge so far forward that his lower body or his upper body is almost leaning all the way towards the floor. So go ahead and drop down into the squat and pause right there. So this is an over-exaggerated motion, but I do see this quite a lot when we are executing a squat. We're really not working much of the legs here. We're pretty much doing everything we can to blast the lower back when it comes to a squat. So even though visually Chase feels that he's gotten really low, we have absolutely no knee flexion. So what I suggest before you do this exercise is do this next to a mirror. Come on back up again and have a look in the mirror. Look to the side and watch and see what your body is doing as you sit back. And stop yourself when you feel that you are no longer able to bend your knees any lower. Whatever that depth is, that is okay. You do not have to bring those hips down all the way down to the floor. If I told Chase to get his glutes even lower than that, we're going to get so much more upper body flexion in order to get down there that if you notice his back starts to actually round out. And when he stands back up again, all that force is going to be driving through that lower back in order to get him back upright. So we are absolutely missing the mark when it comes to what that goal is. So bear in mind, have a look in the mirror, check yourself for what your range is right now. As you get stronger, that range can potentially increase. If you feel that you don't have enough range, then we have other videos we can go to in order to help increase that range. All right, so what we're going to start off with is a 3-second drop, a 2-second pause, and then a 3-second return back up. As he's pausing at the bottom, he is going to be squeezing every muscle that he possibly can. He's going to grip his toes into the turf. He's going to squeeze his glutes together. He's going to drive his knees apart and together all at the same time. He's got 1,000 pounds on his shoulder that he's trying to drive up as it's trying to drive him down. And then as he comes all the way back up over the course of 3 seconds, he's going to continue that contraction of all of those muscles. This is a slow exercise. Slow it down. 3 seconds on the way down, pausing there and squeezing hard for 2 seconds, and then slowly coming back up, squeezing everything you can all the way up to the top, bringing the hips back to neutral. We're going to repeat that one more time. 3 seconds down, 2, 1, pausing for 2 seconds, squeezing hard, and then coming back up again, 2, 1, and pause. Good. Next version of this, once you have control and that motion feels like you've got some confidence there, we're going to add in an explosive return back to neutral. Once again, there are a couple things that can happen here. As you're at the bottom of the squat, which you're still going to take your time on the way down, 3 seconds down, a 2-second pause, Chase is going to be returning back up to neutral as quickly as he can. This is an explosive movement. There are 2 ways to get up there. One way is by driving the knees back, which is not the way that we want to go about this. We want to think about bringing the hips through, squeezing the glutes, bringing the hips back to neutral, which is why we started with the slow version. The same motion, same movement, we're just increasing the speed. So a 3-second down, we're going to show you the bad way. Pausing for 2 seconds, and as Chase comes up explosively, he's going to throw his knees back and is looking like he's about to do an Olympic ski jump. All right? This is not the way to finish that motion. He should be standing upright with a neutral spine. So 3 seconds down, a 2-second pause, explosively bringing his hips up and through, back to neutral. This is how we're going to go about that exercise. Our next version is to go back to our slow tempo and adding in weight. If we add in weight as we're exercising, obviously the demand on the muscles is increased, but we're also increasing the stress in the upper body. So we want to create a brace. I always talk about keeping your shoulders tucked in your back pockets. That means you take those shoulder blades and drive them down as far as you are able to. Just keeping them stick them down and keep them glued into those back pockets. As Chase drops down into the squat, he's going to be pressing that weight up and away from his body till it's about chin to mouth height. And then as he slowly comes back up again, he's going to return it back down to chest, keeping those shoulders stuck in the back pockets. pausing for 2 seconds, and then squeezing and returning all the way back up again. Good. Keeping that weight, we're going to go back to our explosive motion, but now because we have that weight there, be aware that this is an additional factor, maintaining control over that weight. If you feel that you're not able to maintain control, put the weight down. Stick with just your body weight, totally fine. 3 seconds on the way down, pressing that weight up and away, a 2-second pause, and then explosively driving back up again. Good. One more time, 3 seconds on the way down, pressing that weight, tucking those shoulder blades in that back pocket, and then driving those hips up. Perfect.